All right, one last update from practice. Kevin Durant spoke with the media, and here's what he had to say about playing with Devin Booker.
Yeah, it's just special to play with a player who understands the game on that level. Has been at the highest level of basketball, playing in the finals, playing the Olympics, playing All-Star games. So he kind of understands what the highest level of basketball is like, and so we have, always have constant communication on what we see out there, and it makes the game easier for everybody when we're both on the court. So, the more games and more reps we get under our belt, the better we become as a team.
I love how, to this point, it feels like there's been at times an online war between Devin Booker fans and Kevin Durant fans.
Hate it.
And I don't understand why. Because if you just listen to the way that these two talk about each other, it doesn't matter who the best player on the Suns is. Like, it really doesn't. They both do different things for this team that have been incredible this season. Kevin Durant carrying the Suns while Book was out.
Correct.
Book coming back and making everyone's life easier as the point guard, the facilitator. And I think that's going to be a difference when you look ahead to this LA matchup. Like, the first two times, they were a plus like 18 in the first 6 quarters of those games.
Yeah.
And then they fell apart down the stretch because KD was having to take a ton of shots. He was getting double, triple teamed every time down the floor. They got outscored by 27 points combined in those 2 fourth quarters. They shot like 14 for 40 from the field. That's not going to happen with Devin Booker out there. And I think Kevin Durant, of all people, appreciates that he has another basketball mind, scorer, passer, playmaker, who can take that attention off of him, make his life easier, no matter what coverage or junk defense they're seeing. And so it's one of those things where, like, we don't have to do what I feel like happened in Golden State with Steph and KD, where a lot of people consistently were arguing who's the better player, who is more important to their success. It doesn't matter. You need both of them to win, and both of them have been phenomenal this season. So I'd rather just kind of sit back and enjoy that.
Well, and these are two guys that, I mean, Devin Booker had Kevin Durant's fat head in his room,
Right.
growing up in his room in Michigan, right? In 2017 on a Bill Simmons podcast, Kevin Durant will still I believe it was in Golden State at the time, was talking about how Devin Booker is just going to keep getting better and better and that he's next in this league. He was fawning over Devin Booker. This is an appreciation these two guys have had for years and years for each other. So trying to pit it together against each other as who's the best, like you said, it doesn't matter. These guys are going to be great together, and they like each other. So there's no rivalry necessary.
Yeah.
Right.
There's none of this bullshit necessary.
Yeah.
They're both great, and they make each other better.
Well, and from like our perspective too, like Austin kind of hit the nail on the head here, right? There's days where KD gets more praise than Book, and there's days where Book gets more praise than KD, and that's fine. Like, we're gonna have ebbs and flows.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about both of them, and when Bradley Beal comes back, we'll probably talk about all
Yep.
3 of them on every single show. But there will be times where Devin gets a couple extra minutes, or Kevin might get a couple extra minutes, or Bradley might get a couple extra minutes. But we know as a whole how valuable everybody on this team is when we're looking at our star players especially.
Yeah, Flex. Who's your favorite kid?
My favorite
Yeah,
kid?
of your kids. See? That's
Come
the kind
on,
of question
bro.
you're asking when
it's
you
true,
ask
it's
this.
true.
It's like,
It's true.
it depends on the day. Which one's pissed
Ra-
me off?
That one's been
Raja.
real nice today, so that one.
You dog.
My dog is my favorite.
Raja.
But that's-
Delete that, Eric.
But I mean, that's basically the kind of question you're asking when you
Yeah.
when you say, "Well, which one of the?" No,
You're right.
no.
We
You're
love them both, and we're so glad both of them are on our squad.
It's like I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It's like football back in the day, the dynasty, the San Francisco 49ers. Like if people were arguing about who's more important, Joe Montana or Jay Rice, like they needed each other to be great. And the problem, I think, is that people get too stuck on who's better. And the real thing is there are things that Kevin Durant is better than Devin Booker at.
Mhm.
And there are things that Devin Booker is better than Kevin Durant at.
Mhm.
And when you merge that together, you got a beautiful thing going on. When you separate the two and people start trying to drive a wedge between them, I think that's silliness. They need each other to be the machine that they're becoming and for us to win a championship. And so They need each other, man.
And I would say also, like, don't drive a wedge between the fan base, too, because there are going to be people who's like, okay, listen, Book's been my favorite player forever. Do I love Kevin Durant? Sure, but Book's my favorite. And then there are going to be people who are like, I've been a Kevin Durant fan for my whole life, basically. I've grown up being a Kevin Durant fan. I love that he's on a team with Devin Booker now, but Kevin Durant's my favorite. Like, we can collectively enjoy this ride together. We don't have to, like, argue about the two of them.
You know the meme, the little girl? Why not both?
Exactly.
That's me. Why not both?
Yeah, it's
Right.
it's just one of those things because like I tweeted out the Suns' record and point differential in games with Devin Booker and games without Devin Booker. And I had like multiple KD Stan accounts in my mentions like, well, this doesn't blah, blah. Like I wasn't doing it to compare Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. The point is like they are not what they are without either one of those two. The dynamic changes if it's Devin Booker in all those games and Kevin Durant had missed all those games.
Right.
Obviously, it's different. We should be able to appreciate one without it being interpreted as a slight to the other.
And it'll change again when Beal comes back.
Yeah.
Eric, can you put that, Sean, he said it's mainly, what did he say?
It's mainly Booker fans, to be honest. No one outside of Phoenix is arguing Booker versus
All right,
KD.
see, this is what I'm saying. That type of stuff is not it, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing is it's not, nobody outside of Phoenix is arguing these things. That's what we're saying. Like, we are all collectively hoping for the best for this team, which includes Kevin and Devin. So let's not do that.
Yes.
Nobody outside of Phoenix is saying who is better, Kevin or Devin. It's only people who are rooting for the Suns, and we got to stop.
I don't know if it's only people that are rooting for the Suns, but it doesn't matter. Like, let the national people have their things to talk about. Ignore them, because what we're doing is trying to enjoy good basketball, and I guarantee you, they hear these things. Like,
of course they do.
They don't. We don't want to drive a wedge in between it and make it this uncomfortable thing. Like, just leave it alone.
What did Book say in the post game the other day? I'm the point guard. He's a scorer.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a clear comment that is coming from that type of energy. Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, man, y'all need to chill. I'm gonna do my job. He gonna do his job. And so, and then KD at the podium praising Book. Like there's a clear understanding from my perspective that these things are leaking out and it's getting into that area where you don't want it to get to. And it's good that we nip it in the bud and say stop it, because you don't want these two fan bases to be at each other's neck all damn year. Like,
right.
I think we're all in agreement that if Kevin wins a championship, so does Devin. And if Devin wins a championship, so does Kevin. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
No matter which side of the aisle you're on, we win.